Okay, so today we will see about the programming of the LCS longest common subsequence problem. So already in the class I have discussed about this, that what is the longest common subsequence and how we can find the values here, that how we can find that the what is the longest common subsequence, and using dynamic programming how we can perform. I have explained that. But before starting that program, we should have to be, the concept should be have to clear. So that's why I am again repeating that why the longest common subsequence and how we can perform here, I will explain today. So today we will discuss about that first. So let's say that in the longest common subsequence, what we already know, that in the longest common subsequence, two two strings will be given. In the longest common subsequence, the two strings will be given, and we have to find that the set of characters that is coming in the sequence. We have to find that the set of characters that is coming into the sequence. So let's see in this example, using the dynamic programming, how we can solve the LCS problem. Like this is a string given, and in this string the character are present B and D, and the second string B, the character are present A, B, C, D. These four characters are present. Now we have to find the set of characters that is coming in the sequence. So in the row wise, what we will do, in the row wise, we will put the characters. The first string characters will put in the row wise. You see, we have put it into the row wise, BD, and ABCD in the column wise, ABCD. We have put the second string characters with the column wise, ABCD. Now there is, you see, there is an extra index which we have used, because we are starting from 1 here, and this extra index is to be needed. That's why you see there is 00 index we have used. And in this 00 index, what we will do, we will put the values 0 here. So if we say that like this, in the first total, our here total number will be, let's say we will draw it first, and then okay. So here in the 0 and 0, we will put the value as 0 here. We put the values 0, means in the column wise we will put the 0, and in the row wise also we will put the 0 at first initially. And here it is 1 and 2, it is B, and it is D. Here it is 1, 2, 3, 4, and here it is A, B, C, and D. So this is the second string, and this is the first string. And in the 0th row and the 0th column, 0th rows and the 0th column, we will do at first initially what? We will put the values 0 here. Now what we will do? We will now, how we will put the values in this table? So first in this table, we will match the characters. We will match the characters, and if after matching, if the same values is found, then we will perform this operation, that 1 plus LCS I minus 1, then J minus 1. And if these two are, there is no, it is not that they are not same, then we will diagonally check the values, and among them the maximum values we will put. This is the way we are performing. That means first time we will check. Here it is B, here it is A. So that means they are mismatch. It is B, it is A. So there is mismatch. So in 1, this is mismatch because the character present here is B and here the character present is A. So that means they are mismatch. So mismatch means this formula we will use that maximum between the diagonal, maximum between the diagonal. So here it is also 0, here it is also 0. So maximum between them is what? Maximum between them will be 0. Same as that, next time this is B, this is B. Okay, so if they are two, these two are matching, these two are matching, that means what? That means we will put 1 plus the maximum diagonal values we will get. So we will 0 0, that means between them 0 0, what is the maximum? 0 is the maximum, and 1 plus LCS. So we will, these are two matching, so that means 1 plus 0, it will be 1. Then again, this is B, this is C, these two are mismatching. So mismatching means we will find the diagonal values. Here it is 1, it is 0. So among them, what is the maximum? 1 is the maximum. So we will put 1 here. Then again, it is B, it is D. So B and D, they are mismatch. So that means mismatch means we will have to find the diagonal values between them. We have to find the maximum between these diagonal values. So we will put here 1 also. Okay. Same as that, for next character D and A, mismatch between them, what is the maximum? 0. So you'll put 0 here. Then from 0 1, D and it is B. So between them, what is the maximum between them? The maximum between them is 1. Okay. Then D and C. So there D and C means here it is 1 1. So here it is between them, it is 1 1. Here D it is C. So they are mismatch. D and here it is C. So they are mismatch. So that means mismatch means we have to find the maximum between these two diagonal values. So 1 and it is 1. So maximum values will be 1. And then again D, here it is also D. So there is matching. So matching means we have to find the maximum values. We have to find the matching means what? Matching means 1 plus maximum values. So this is 1. So maximum value will be 1. So 1 plus 1, it will be 2. So like this, we perform the LCS. I am again revising it because in the program, this concept have to be implemented. So that's why I am again revising these concepts. Now, we have in this, we have some arrows present. You see, we have some arrows present. Now here in this 2, the arrow is given like this. The arrow is given like this in the 2. Then here, now this we have to find like this. We have to find the our total longest common subsequence. So now here, where the maximum value in this table is what? The maximum value in this table is 2. So we will have to move the arrows from here. Now this 2, how we get this 2? This 2 we get finding this between them the maximum values and 1 plus maximum values. 1 plus between them the maximum values, we added that. So that's why the arrow is looked here, because this 2 we get from 1 plus between this maximum value. So 1 plus 1, that's why we get 2. So the arrow is pointed to here because adding 1 with it, we are getting the values. So that's why the arrow's front or the arrow's direction is here. Then this one, how we get this one? Finding the maximum between these two, 1 and 0. Between them, the maximum values we get, we are putting that here because they are mismatching in that time. Here it is B and here it is C. So that means they are mismatching. So 1 and 0, between them 1 and 0, what is the maximum? 1 is the maximum. So we put the value 1 here. Now we get this 1 from where? We get this 1 because this is the maximum. That's why the arrow is pointed here. So we get this value from here. The arrow is pointed here. Now this one, how we get this one? We get this one because this is B and this is B. So matching. So matching means, and here the diagonal is 0 plus 1 because maximum value is 0. Maximum value is 0. So 0 plus 1, that is 1. So that means it will point to in this direction, because with adding 1 with it, we are getting the values. So that's why the arrow is pointed here. So for this, you see some arrows are in the three types of arrows are present. Three types of arrows we will use in our in this LCS. One is like this upward direction, one is like upward direction, another one is corner direction, and another one is the in the left direction. Now when the corner direction is used, the corner direction is used when we are adding 1 with it and getting the values. In that time, the corner direction arrow is used. Here you see 1 and these two are matching. So 1 plus 1, we are getting the value 2. So that's why with adding this value, adding this 1 plus 1, adding 1 with this 1, we are getting this value. So that's why the arrow is pointed in this direction. So the arrow in that time will be pointed to the corner direction. And when the arrow will be pointed to the left direction, the arrow will be pointed to the left direction. When these characters are not matching, the characters are not matching, and we are getting maximum values from this left side. You see 1 and 0, because here it is B, here it is C. So that means the characters are not matching. In that time, when the character is not matching, we check what? We check the maximum values between the diagonals. So here, if the maximum value is in this portion, then that's why the arrow is pointed to here. So whenever it will be between them, the second diagonally, this will be the greater, then the arrow will be pointed to this direction. And when the arrow will be pointed to upper, if between these two, or let's say between these two, if the upper side is maximum, then the arrow will be pointed in the upper direction. But here in our example, we have not not required. The upper direction arrow is not required. So that's why we didn't use the upper direction arrow, because here between this 1 and 0, this one is greater. So that's why the arrow is pointed to in this left direction. Instead of this, let's say instead of this, if it happens that let's say the one is here, and here it is 0. Let's say this may happen. In that time between them, what is the maximum? This one is maximum. So one value will be put, and in that case, the arrow will be in the upper direction. In that case, the arrow will be in upper direction. But in our example, there is no such upper direction arrows needed. But if in such cases arise, we will use the upper direction arrows. So here we have this direction arrows are also present. So these three types of arrows we have present in our table. Okay, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now this is the basic concept. I explain it because in the programming, this concept should be used. So that's why this concept should be used. That's why I have said this. Okay. So now we will move forward with our program of the LCS. So let's move with the programming. Now I am not I will use it. Okay, so let's start the programming. First header file should be included, so I am including the header file hash include .h, then hash include string.h. Because
your screen
we will take the string here. Screen is not visible. Okay, 1 minute. Now you are able to see?
Yes.
Yes, visible.
Okay, okay. Now, so this is header files because we perform this operation on the string. So we will use your header file. Now, after this, let's say for I and J, because if you remember the table, so with this I will table also, because if I will draw the table, then it will be clear to you. So let's again, I will draw the table. So 1, then for relating you, it will be easy to use. So that's why I am drawing the table again. Three, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So here it is 0, 1, it is 2, 0. So I am taking the example which I have given in the class. I will take that example. So here it is BD, and here it is A, B, C, D. Okay. So there are two strings. This is a string, first string, and this is the second string. A, B, C, D. Okay. So we have to declare two variables we are declaring, that is I and J. Now I and J is used for, now this is a table, you look, this is a table 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, like this. That means what? It is the two-dimensional. We have to take two-dimensional arrays because it is a two-dimensional way. So our row and J for column. That's why we'll use it. So I and J I have declared. Then M and N. Now this M will store the value. This M will store the length of the first string. The length of the first string, this M will store. And N will store the length of the second string, that is ABCD. This length will be stored in N. So after that, we will take a now, why we are using this integer two-dimensional arrays? Now you see, we are putting the values like that 0, 1, then 0, like this. We are putting the values here. So how we put the values here are the integer type. So that means what? That means we have to take our two-dimensional array, and this two-dimensional array, integer type array, we have to take two-dimensional integer type array, because we will put the values here 0, 1, then 0, 2, like this, the values we will put. So that's why the integer values we put. So we have to declare a two-dimensional integer array. Then next, char x20. So this is this x and y20. This is we are declaring a character array, or say that we are declaring a string, mainly declaring a string. Here x20 and y20. Let's say x20 and y20. This x will store, the first string, and y will store the second string. So that's why we have mentioned x20 and 120. And another array which we have to, this array we should have to take. Now this, what is the purpose of this two-dimensional array, this two-dimensional B2020? What is the purpose of this? Now the purpose of this array is this array. We cannot store the, we have already seen when I have described the example, in that time what I have shown, I have shown some arrows. So the arrow is we have three types of arrows. You see that one is in the upper direction arrows, another one is the left direction arrows, and another one is the corner direction arrow. So this three types of array must be present. Now, it is not possible that we can take the arrows as a input. It is not possible. So how we'll put the arrows here? Because arrow is not like that we will take as an input here, but we have to take the arrows. So how we'll perform? Now, for that reason, we will give a name. We will give a name like for upper direction U, for corner direction C, and for direction left. So these characters will be stored, because we cannot store arrow here. We cannot store arrow as a input, or arrow give the input as arrow. In that time, what we will do? That time we will put the characters. Now these characters will be stored in this array. These characters will be stored in this array. When I do the program, it will be all much clear to you. But that's why I have taken this array, because it will store character corner like this. The characters will be stored, because we cannot store the arrow here. So next, already discussed. So now we will directly move. We will directly move in the main function. Directly move in the main function. So int main, let's say int main, and printf enter first sequence. Enter first sequence. Okay, printf enter first sequence. Let's say we are saying scanf. Now we are inputting the string. So we are taking the input as a string. That means we can use %s, scanf %s, because we are taking the string. And for taking the string, you already know that there is no need for ampersand, because it will already hold the base address. So here we will directly write as x, because we are input as a, we are giving the input of the string. So that's why we are taken %s, and here there is no need of ampersand, because it holds all. So that's why no way to give the ampersand here. And instead of this, you can also use getS method. PutS and getS, these two types of methods are also present in the string. If you try, if then you can put getS also, getS, and inside the bracket x, you can write that also, getS. Okay, but I prefer this, so I have written like that. Next, same as that, the second string I will take. The second string I will take second sequence, and it will be y. Okay, then a statement I have written, like a statement I will write printf /n, the longest common subsequence is printf, the longest common subsequence is, then we are declaring an user defined function. So the name of the function is, let's say the name of the function is LCS. We are defining that LCS. So that means it is function calling. So we have to declare this function. Function declaration should be done. Now this function we are calling in the mains function. So LCS, and this will perform the LCS operation. And after performing the LCS operation, we will use another method. We will use another method, that is print m and n. We will also declare this method also, print mn. This will print the value, and after that we will do return, because int we have used. So return. Okay, so our total main inside the main function, it is completed. So now we have to declare these two functions. These two functions we should have to declare. So move, first we will use LCS function. So that means we will use void LCS. So now we will declare definition of this function. So void LCS. Okay. So first, what we say, we have to find the length of the string. So let's say what I have said, that m will store the first string length and n will store the second string length. So m equal to strlen. Now, do you know what is the purpose of this strlen function? It finds these are the functions that in C you have already know that strlen function is used to find the length of the string. And anyone, can you tell me what strcmp does?
So comparison.
Yes, yes. It does the comparison, strcmp. And strcat?
Sir, concatenation.
Yes. So these are the types of these are some functions. So now we want to find the length. So that's why we are using strlen function. So strlen, now for the first sequence, what is the value? X. So we'll put X here. So for X, we will find the length. That means first string length. Then same as for n also. For in case of n, what we will do? strlen y. Now two functions, two strings length we get, this two strings length. After that, we will use the loop for I less than equal to m, then I plus plus. Okay. Now, this will do what? C of I 0 equal to 0. Now you see why I have used this, because at first time when we are doing, in that time what operations we are doing. So first time 0 0 0, like this, row wise and column wise we are putting the zeros. We already seen that first we will do that in row wise and column wise we'll put the zeros. So instead, if we see this loop, then 0 0 C1 0 0, that means C1 0 1 0, the value will put 0, 2 0, the value will put 0. So that's why this operations we are performing 0 0 0 1 0 0 2 0 0. So that means here like this the zeros will be put. Same as that in the second case, what we have to do? Anyone can tell? what we will do in the next case? In that case, what we will do? Now, this way we have to put the zeros. So for this way, you have to put the zeros means what? In this way, you have to put the zeros. It will be 0 I like this. Then will be what? 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 0 0 2 0 0 3 0 0 4 0. So that means one time row wise and another time column wise we'll put the zeros. So this defines this. समझ में आया सबको? क्यों क्यों ये हम यूज किए? इसका मतलब क्या है? फर्स्ट टाइम ऐसे हम जीरो पुट करेंगे, इसीलिए हम ये दोनों लूप यूज किए, इसलिए हम ये दोनों लूप यूज किए. क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what we will do? First, I am writing this, let's say.
सर वॉइस नहीं आ रहा है.
Okay. So now my voice is coming.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It is audible. Oh, okay. So now what we will do here, now we are